Nothing you have to be concerned with. They often run it somewhere else. They often run it somewhere else. We develop a rapport with the police out here as well as with the police in Brooklyn. And we're trying to get all the other boards in the nation, stars and earth to do the same. Right down to pushing brothers through the police academy. They have a little civilian course in there. When you take the civilian course, you learn about the maneuvers, the things that they have to deal with on a regular basis, and you learn something else that's very important, which is the chain of command. You'll be surprised how a cop will back up off you when you start dropping his chain of command. I know who your commanders are. I know who your supervisors are. He's not going to want to say too much more to you because he knows that you can report him to his authorities at this point. So we need to develop our relationship with these police officers. Now, on the Day of the Children, as you heard George say, there will be no drinking in the park. My older brother Jamila has this thing that goes, we work hand in hand with the police. All right? Our job is to get the good doers. Their job is to get the bad doers. So if you in that park drinking on the Day of the Children, where's the bill goes in effect? You are in violation of regulations, and we will have you arrested. I don't care. You can have 50 flags on it. I don't care. I don't care. If you can't submit to rules and regulations, don't come out to the park that day. Don't come out to the park that day. We developed a relationship with these people, and we're not going to let no knuckleheads kill it for us. So if you feel that you want to do something that should be done around children, take it home. Take it home. Our children will be watching us, and believe me, it's not going to be easy to stay on point. And I'll tell you this from experience. It's going to be very easy for somebody to pull you off your point. And the more hours you put in, the easier it's going to be for them to pull you off. So when that day starts getting long, and them knuckleheads start coming out there, that's the old saying, pens and needles, needles and pens, a happy man is a man that grins. Just give it a few minutes. Before you say anything to them, just think, what's the best way to approach this person? Am I the best person to approach this person? Because to be upfront, last year I found that out. Sometimes I'm not the best person to approach a person, because sometimes I can be very raw. And a lot of us, when a person comes at us raw, we get raw too. My other brother, big brother, Ken Du has a saying, when a lion roar at you, you better roar back or you will be dead. And this is something I learned to be policy. But there's always a time. There's always a time and place for roaring. It's easier to take a person off to the side and say, look, brother, this way is one-on-one, there's no showboat. And he feels a lot, or she feels a lot more comfortable when you deal like that than you do when you blast off on a person in a crowded area. That's kind of embarrassing, and really, it should be embarrassing for both of y'all. For the person doing the blasting as well as the person getting blasted. Right. So, if you want to add on for the Day of the Children, all you have to do is see one of our board members. And that's the formal way of adding on. The informal way, just come out there. Just come out there. One of us know you. God, can you do this for me? We're going to put you to work, and we have no shame in asking. We have no shame in asking. All right? So we ask that everybody think about it. If you have some ideas, if you were at the last one, I see you smiling. So if you have some ideas to make it better and easier, please, we open to ideas. We don't have closed minds. As I said, we're in this for the children, and we want to make sure that they have some great day. So if you have some ideas, pass them off to us and let us know. Now, another thing I like to say before I go is that for the last 2 years, we have been doing this event on a Sunday. But last event, we seen something that we had to change, which was, and we're pushing this through all the boards. We can't do an event on a Sunday because we have rallies every Sunday of the month. And a lot of us, Black family goes to all the rallies. We go to all the rallies. So every Sunday we are busy. We have at least half of our board at every rally. So we're asking that all the boards do the same thing. Don't plan an event on a Sunday. All right? Last year, CLR came out there, came out early. And that's what made us notice it. That he had came out early and he told us, now y'all know, we have no rally today, so I can't stay. But he came to show some support for us. So this year we said, we're not gonna bump heads with ourselves, because that's what we really do. We're gonna make the event on a Saturday, so this way we can all make the rally on a Sunday, because we do support our rallies, right? So as I said, if you know a way to make it better, if you have an idea, you know some people, you know a company or two, hook up with us. We have the paperwork, we can pass it off to you, you can pass it off to them, and we can see where it goes from there, because we want everybody to have it. Thanks.
Again, I want to remind, in fact, I love my baby brother. The first time I asked him to eat dinner and speak this long. And it's the reason, because like I said again, we are pushing this event with your help or without your help. Black families, don't worry about nothing. We've been known, I'm going to use the word for the young, we've been known to make magic happen with little or nothing. All right? Also, I want to bring it back to your attention. We do have a donation box over here. That's how y'all eat. Okay? Those that like it, we had some donation. This is how we feed the mass that come here every Sunday. All right? I express it again. I believe we just got finished with the business for the day. The order of business for Universal Black Family. We are opening up the floors. Limit your time to at least 10 minutes so that everyone in here can get a chance to speak and make their presentation on things that they're doing in this nation. Peace. Peace. Peace.
I'm here on 1037 and 130. Sometimes it's good. Peace. I am Queen Lady Shabazz, and I reflect the light of Sean Allah. Just two quick things. One, the food that is served today, as always, contains no meat. Secondly, avoid the rush. If you'd like to volunteer today to be part of the Day of the Children on June 3rd, you can see me during the social equality. I'll take your name. If there's something that you are particularly good at, like the guard right here is very good at keeping children organized for activities. I never saw that many children line up and wait their turn to play a carnival game. You know, like kids, they crowd. Now, like he had all these little kids, all the children, not only our children, children from the neighborhood. See, we were talking about children. Look, now no one say, look, God, you gotta get in line. Now, young man, you gotta get in line. She was ahead of you. The guard had all lined up around the tent, coming in one at a time, and it was peace. If you have an expertise, if you're better with organizing the relay races, we'll need people. One of the herbs helped last year. The inflatable bounce ride that comes out, it comes with cotton candy, and he also does the balloon animal, but he's doing all that stuff. Who's watching the children bouncing around in the thing? So we had the Earth, she stepped up. We had Earth standing there, only 10 children on the time. How old are you? You're 8. No, this ride is, you have to be 6 and under to get on this one. You need to go on the other side. She helped him with the cotton candy and the balloon. We had other guard nurses helping with the line. Remember, you can't get on the ride with your shoes. Young man, take your shoes off. You know, things like that. If you're good with stuff like that, just general children crowd control, or if there's an activity that you would like to organize for the children that day, if you have a dance group that you'd like to come for that day, just make knowledge born, because we're all true indeed, spelling bee. Just make knowledge born so that as we plan the and including your activity, as we plan the activities, we can put volunteers' names next to them so that we know exactly how many more people we're going to have to ask to add on. Peace.
Peace. Peace. Peace to the black family. I come in the name of the Bond God of Allah. And each and every parliament, I told myself that I'm a bill. And I'm sorry for my tardiness. It looked like I just came in just ready to build, but it's not if you build, it's not if you come late and you build and you motivate, but if you build, you add on and you also do the knowledge. Because doing the knowledge is the best part. So anytime I finish building, you never see me just building and motivating. I'm building and I'm doing the knowledge. Because I'm here to learn. Because this is why I come here. I come here each and every Sunday. I try to go to as many parliaments as I go to because it energizes my battle. See, my battle is knowledge and wisdom. That's what keeps me motivated. And once I come to parliament, I get that knowledge and wisdom. Because we have come to the point of elevation, we know that we got to eat right in order to live. Because you're either going to eat to live or you're going to eat to die. And this society has taught us to eat to die. That means we put the wrong food in our body so that it's going to affect us negatively, so that eventually we're going to lead to death. So being the God of earth, we know we're going to put the right foods in our. You can easily be somewhere else. Not to say that anybody who's not here don't love themselves, but the people who are here, the people who came here today and is in this room right now have love for themselves. That's why they're here. Because we have to show them proof that we don't have to wait once a month to be with our family. You know, if you could go to the Universal Parliament, you can go to the Parliament, you can go to Parliament in Pilar, you go to the Parliament over here. You go to the Parliament everywhere. And you can show that, you know what, this is where we act on Sunday. We ain't here religiously. We here because we know where to be when you love yourself. You sacrifice. You can sacrifice. And that's what it's all about. Because right now, we live in a time where we have to sacrifice. We have to sacrifice to just show love to one another. Because a lot of people don't know how to love themselves. Because we live in a society that's called self-destruction. Hate yourself. That's what this society teaches us. It teaches us to find pleasure. And when we go to find pleasure, same way we go in to find pleasure, it's the same pleasure we try to find that society teaches us to put us on a pleasure quest. And that pleasure quest that we on is self-destruction. That's the same thing that destroyed other societies before this. Before this, it was Babylon. Before this, it was Rome. Before this, it was another society. And it kept on going. And they all fell over the pleasure syndrome. And the devil know that. The devil see that out there. Because the more and more people don't learn to sacrifice and understand that in sacrificing, you learn to see yourself. And the God was building, who was coming over here, he was like, what's out in the universe is also inside of you. When you look out into the universe, it's infinite. If you close your mind, if you close your eyes, your physical eyes, and look within, when you close your physical eyes and look within, you see in the universe and it's infinite. There is no beginning, no ending to your inner self. Now, when you look at that inner self, the God was building, he said that inside of the planet Earth is a core. And when you go deep inside of that core, the same thing that's inside of the universe is also in the sun. That magma. And he was building at the magma inside of you. When you get in touch with it, you get in touch with your inner self, you develop a magnetic field. That's what's in the sun. That's what keeps the planet in order, is the magnetic field.
That magnetic field that you build outside of you is the love that you have for yourself. And once you develop that magnetic field of love, and it develops from inside of you because you know yourself, and it comes on the outside, ain't nothing negative going to be able to affect you. That's why when them people in the church, they be going, when God is with me, nothing is against me. That's what they talking about. But they going about it in a religious way because they going for the God outside of them. So they're dealing with wisdom, knowledge. But God and earth deal with knowledge, wisdom. So you find the love inside you and you spread that love on the outside to his level. Because a lot of times, misery loves company. So they try to put both people and say, well, you know what, you're both wrong. Because you both are. Like the God said, he said, another God at the last moment should never hate another God. And it's true. That is absolutely the truth. That is no way that in the God cipher, anybody who comes in our cipher is going to say, yo, you know what? Them brothers build strong, but they never break it down to a physical. They, no matter how much they disagree or have different of opinion, they got love for one another. That's the truth. That's what's got to be said about this nation. We can't have people say, you know what? They just like 85%. When they disagree and they verbally disagree, once they finish, they just start fighting, shooting, killing one another. That's emphatically not cycle. We gotta have love, supreme love, and it starts with self-worth. That's all I have to say today on this one day.
Come in the name of unique Allah. Today's mathematics, born something that the God, phrase that the God used that I wanted to add on to, which was, a few brothers spoke about knowledge and wisdom. It's believed Jamela, a few other brothers before him Jamela actually spoke on the nation going beyond the level of just knowledge and wisdom. I was building with God, you probably know him, Almighty God Dawood, yesterday on the phone, and we spoke about this. And I said, God, at most parliaments that I do get up and build, that I usually find myself being the youngest person building. Get up in front of everybody. There's nothing wrong with coming and speaking or coming to give knowledge or whatever. But I know that skills that I have, the abilities that I have to articulate myself, everybody that I feel comfortable, doing that. Cool. Some people are better on a one-on-one basis than, I've taught classes before, I've done this. I know later on in my life I'll probably end up teaching on the universal level. That's just me. But we spoke about knowledge and wisdom. And I'm building with the God, and I said, yeah, it's a lot of brothers that I've met. Because everybody I don't respect, on the same exact plateau and level. I go by the disciplines within that person's life, man. And do I really truly see God in this person? Or do I just see this person just as knowledge and wisdom? What I mean by that is going beyond the level of knowledge and wisdom, meaning like a lot of us know 120. Some people renewing their history. A lot of brothers, I know some of the greatest speakers, God, who could take you to that level of knowledge and to the wisdom level, but in a lifestyle, it's not reflecting that they have an understanding. And if they don't have an understanding, then how is your culture the same as mine? If you didn't get 1, 2, and 3 correct first. If 1, 2, and 3 wasn't correct, then how did you get the 4? And the 4th, which is the culture, is correct. How was your culture correct when the first, applied mathematics wasn't in the proper order, or wasn't fully, mastered or fully taken through knowledge of born? Because each lesson within itself, God has many lessons within it. So it's just nothing that's not just very simplified. But taking it to that level, meaning that once you obtain information, God accumulated facts. Once you sit back, look, listen, observe, and respect something. And once you take that into the verbal, which is to speak, and then once you speak, and then you put it into the physical, which is also a part of wisdom. Wisdom is not just the word, it's the action. So you take it into the word and you take it into the action. And then through your action is going to let me know if this person has an understanding, do they see the picture clearly? And from them having that understanding, then he had the ability wise ability to pick and choose what his coach is going to be. Are you going to be God or are you going to be devil? See what I'm saying? You got to go through them stages, in order to get to that level. And me and the God was building about this, and I said, I know many brothers who, it's not me to sit back and judge a man that I'm not better than anybody. And I'm still learning each and every day, God. And there's a lot of things about myself. I look at myself, and before I speak or say something, I look at myself first, and I accept criticism within myself, because I know that, in order for you to be completely just and true, you have to be, and especially in order for you to even present yourself and come out your mouth as, I'm God, the original black man is God, and I am He, then you must be on that mission to strive for what? Perfection. He is perfection, but you still have to continue to strive and want to be at one with perfection, meaning you have to find things within yourself that may need to be refined and cleaned up. Within God. You know what I'm saying? To continuously maintain on that level. Because if you just have it as, God in the mind, and I'm God, and I can do whatever I want to do, then that means you saying that there's nothing within yourself as a man that could be done. If that's the point, then you don't need to wake up tomorrow. What you waking up for? What's the purpose? Your job already done. You mastered all 7 planes of energy. You done mastered every lesson, you mastered everything, and you living that physically, so there's no reason for you to even wake up and try to strive for anything the next day if you completely, make it to that level. So each and every day, we must study and we must apply, ourselves to become better men, better gods and better earths. You know what I mean? And by doing that, everybody has different methods of doing it. I love education, I love school, that's my thing, that's what I do, I'm gonna make a career out of that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to make a decent career out of that, because that's just, I love doing it. I love, being amongst them. I feel like, unique belongs at the round table with the builders. That's how I present myself. That's why I see myself as being. Each person has to, look at themselves and look deep within yourself and find your own position. You know what I mean? And as far as time, they say a day to God is like 1,000 years to the ordinary man. So I don't even, take age as a level of something that's going to hold me back on any level. A lot of people don't even tell my age. I'm as old as you think I am. I'm as old as I appear. Because that's the reality. That's the reality of it. You know what I mean? You may say, because a person, you cannot calculate or put a limitation on what a person learns within a certain amount of time. Each person learns at different speeds and levels. So you may have that one child, just like if you look at the history, Yaku, when he said he was playing 2 pieces of steel, discovered that one piece had magnetic and the other piece did not. Then learned the piece that had magnetic and it attracted the piece without magnetic. So this at 6 years old, a little boy discovered this. Then I'm not saying that someone else could have discovered that at 5. You know what I'm saying? Instead of mastering all universities at the age of 16, maybe this person would have did it at 15. Matter of fact, my old dad, I think he graduated high school at 15. Something like that. 15, 16 years old. Graduated high school, at that point. I know that's a lot earlier than what people do, these days, 18, 17, 18 when they finish. That was still a little earlier than me. So he graduated a little earlier than most people do. So you can't put a limitation on that. On a man or a woman ability. It's all within that person. It's all within the discipline. See, you could be a great teacher, but see, it's discipline to becoming a great student. A great student is one who's going to get the information that a teacher is giving and that a teacher is presenting, and they are doing proper homework. That's why there's books on how to become the master student. The master student is not the one who's going to wait until you hand him the next assignment or tell him to go further. The master student, you hand him a book. I come to class like this. I done read the first 7 chapters the first night I got the book. What? Go up in there and know the answers. And you take it to that level because you want that information that bad. That you're not gonna, okay, you just said look up this one word. I'm gonna look up this one word, and that's it. See, the master student is gonna take that one word and then look at everything else that coincides with that definition. And be prepared for the next day. That's the master student. He do a little more than what's required of him or her. And it's steps, to become that. And I'm still learning and getting better at that myself. Because it's not a fact of just working hard, it's working smart. And to me, working smart is like being a few chapters or a few pages or a few lessons ahead of where I was told to stop. That way when you do get there, it's a lot easier to recover the information. It's like, I read this maybe 3 weeks ago, but it's still not completely new and fresh in your mind. It's like, oh, I done heard it before. And when you heard something before, it's easier for you to be able to iterate it or reiterate something that you basically already took through the knowledge. You know, you did the knowledge to it already. You may not use it right then and there, but it's easier for you to recall the information. You know, and these are the things that, you know, as a nation and as a growing nation that we have to be on. God spoke about not taking it to the physical level. I got into a dispute with one of my very close brothers about that aspect. And it wasn't really completely agreeing on that aspect of, you know, God and beat each other up. He wasn't in agreement with how I felt about it and how this person felt about it. I personally feel that as God, you are on that level of intelligence where you can speak and resolve something. I feel my patience for another God versus my patience for the 85% is two different levels. It's two different levels that I would take it to. I feel like if I'm building with a brother who, you know, on the same plane of energy as me, I shouldn't have to take it to the level that I have to, you know, physically, you know, have a problem with Najee. My mind is not even thinking about anything physical with the God. You know, it's like we had an argument, cool. Alright, I'm mad, you mad, I might go my way, you go your way, when we see each other again, we, you know, resolve it. I sort of expect that out of 85% to not be able to articulate well enough that, you know, they let the anger and rage come out through physical combat and things of that nature. That's how they was taught. They was taught to use their anger in that way instead of, you know, they don't have enough education to be able to talk it through a lot of people. So I would expect that from that person versus the one, you know, who masters 120 lessons. Wow. That's like mastering something and studying something is two different things. I would tell somebody, yeah, I know 120 lessons, I could quote. Yeah. Did I master everything? No, I'm still learning within them same exact lessons that I knew on my mind for quite some time. You know, and each and every day that I quote, you know, as I'm getting on the train today, I'm going through all of the born degrees, you know, in each lesson, and there's certain things that you catch, and you know, it just hits you in different ways every time you quote it. And as you get older, you start looking at it a little differently, and then as you learn other information, you're looking at it a little differently. And this right here is how we take, you know, how I take the lessons, because it's like, that's a very bold statement to say I mastered it. Then that means it should be nothing within history, physics, astronomy, biology, chemistry, that I could ask you. You should be able to answer every question out of any one of them books if you mastered 120 lessons.
That's right.
I should sit back and say, okay, God, you mastered 120. What's the formula for work? What's the formula for this and that? And you should be able to break it down. And, you know, force times distance. God is blah, blah, blah. That's the formula for work. Okay, God, so if Pluto is 680 billion miles away from the sun, then what is that called in astronomy, God? What is the terminology for that? These should be blue questions to you, like, well, that's nothing but an astronomical unit, God, because blah, blah, that's when you know what I mean? I'm still studying this stuff myself and still trying to learn the proper, because 120, it's the basic foundation to all the sciences in life. All of the sciences in life. It's like, you know, the key to open a door, but, you know, if you didn't walk down that hall and go to the other bookshelf, you know, down the hall, then you didn't completely master it. It's on the verbal. And on the memory level and on the verbal level, but on the physical level or on the complete understanding level, it's not there. A lot of times, you know, brother justify certain things by coming up with some type of semantic or some type of words that sound real good to justify something. You know what I mean? And why I say that is because I have family members who brought up in this nation just like I, and who didn't choose to this day, I don't take anything as an excuse, but didn't choose to this day to really be as active as he once was. But this world goes about to go to his master's degree in science. That's what he do. And he said to me, which I agree with some of what he said, but there's no reason why, you can't tell me why you're not going to build for a large nation. You can't tell me, it ain't no excuse or reason you're going to give me that I don't completely agree with that. But he's like, a lot of brothers speak on science, they don't understand it. Because he studied this each and every day. So he's like, they talk about molecules and atoms and all this stuff, and I listened and it sounded like crap. Because I could break it down further than that, than what they say. And there's very few, so some brothers who I know who like truly, do have a great grasp on that. It's God who do know that stuff very well. But there's others who will be around them and may hear certain things and go out like they knew it. And just, saying it. But these are things that I feel each and every man, regardless of age, or size, or history, or how long you've been here, it's always something that we're going to continue to learn from each other. You know what I mean? This is such thing as being a master builder, a master teacher, and a master student. You know what I'm saying? The master teacher should be able to create a master student and show them how they can be, more advanced than they are presently at the time. With that, I'm going to say peace.
Peace.
1 minute, go third. What? No, sit.
Peace, God, the first peace, little one. I reflect about the rises among unearthly Jews. And I have a couple of issues I want to address, and it's the strangest thing is because these parliaments here in Medina are great fathers only because I come from Medina, and the universal black family is wonderful, and I appreciate all y'all been doing. And I always try to add on as a special event because I know it's necessary. No matter where we from, we should always add on to the cycle because it's easy to maintain when you have everybody building. If everybody's building, it takes away from what we're going through. And with that note, I just want to say once again, I have thought that the best thing for our babies is to do a youth rally every 3 months. Because the first youth rally was wonderful. I thought it was magnificent. The children was wonderful. And I figured if they could do it today, they could do it the next time. They could do it again. But I wanted to be consistent with the 3 months and understanding the best part and knowing that the best part is about the baby. I just wanted to see how much time we could put into this rally and the children could really get there and manifest through the whole rally and keep it going because the rallies need to be stronger for the children to give them interest to be here. So that's how they come and play and do this. They're not really focused on it. So if the focus is on them, I think they would do wonderful. That's my purpose today. And this is the next youth rally will be on May the 28th. And if you have any children, any young gods on earth, not only the babies, some of the older ones too, like knowledge of God, wisdom, knowledge, all those things. And I want to say that we need the participation because it's a lot of work. And we try to give the time so that we can have the children to express themselves. And this is the day they should be able to get up there and do what they like, say what they like, and who cares? Just let them get up there and build. On that note, I would like to move to something else, is that after the youth rally, I thought, okay, let's pull out the most outstanding children from the youth rally to give them a plaque to say, okay, you was outstanding. Outstanding is when we look profile children. We don't want to be in school, everybody on the same level. Because everybody on the same level, they're really not making good. We want the children to be higher than most children. And I know Powerful's daughter and my son is in the same class, and they strive to be the best. They always want to kid doing it. And that's what I say, our children have to be the best at what they do. We don't accept them getting 75 and 65 in school because at 65, no colleges will want our children. They're going to want them because they're going to pay much more money. So the reason why I say, if we educate our children now, by the time they get there, they'll be begging our children to go to the schools they want. That's why it's a youth rally is good because it gives children time to express themselves on a daily basis. And I want to say, because I wanted to bring the point, I gave plaques out for 5 exceptional children who I thought really wanted to go to the youth rally. And I got a call yesterday, this is a month ago when it happened, but I got a call yesterday from a guard, and he said to me that I wasn't fair. I wasn't fair because I didn't give all the children a plaque. I said, no. When you go to school and they have awards for classes, who gets the awards? The most outstanding children, right? If you're doing really good, at the end of the school year, they said you're going to award some money for the children. So the children will get a high achievement. The best spell, the best that. So of course, we're not going with the best, we just want to see who's doing outstanding. So the outstanding were the children who could both their degrees without a problem, who could deal with their mathematics at a young age without a problem, who can do things differently than what we are doing today. Because everybody's doing the same thing. Everybody today's mathematics was born, so basically everybody knows the same thing. So somebody elaborate on how they see today's mathematics, then they're going to be the outstanding one. I think. Do anybody else agree?
Correct.
Okay, so this is where we at. So because I got the call and I was told, oh, you wasn't fair, all the children should have got a plaque. I said, you know, all the children should have got a plaque because the day of the event, every child that participated got a certificate. They got a gift bag. They got a free t-shirt. That was all for all the children, so they all took our time to be part of that event. But then when I said, you know what, we have to do something a little extra because we want the children to come out a little stronger the next round, which I was supposed to see some more children building even harder. So I gave the plaques out. But I tried to explain to the guard, isn't that I don't like your son? I don't like your children. My son Naheem got a plaque because Naheem was fluent on his supreme mathematics. At understanding years old, he quoted it really nice. He sang the song and he was loud. Everyone heard him. It was good. That's my son. So my son Ramel didn't get one because Ramel had to chase him through the whole rally trying to get him to sit down after you rally. That's my son. But it's not about who child is, what the child is doing. It was about who was doing what, and Ramel didn't deserve it, so they didn't get it. So now the other children didn't get it because they didn't deserve it. They all earned their keep that day, but my job was, and I told the guard too, the expense was very high for that youth rally. It cost me over $500 to get all that rally together. I didn't ask, I just asked for donation back. We got some back, but it wasn't about the goal, it was about the achievement. To see the children out there building, so I said, those plaques were special plaques. So I gave it to who I thought was special, and even the Sister Divine, I asked her, who did she think? She thought the same children I thought was fine, so we could go with the thought. Both of us feeling the same way, we gave it to them. That's done. But the idea to get the children to do things is not always reward them. Not this session is their reward. They're here for a reason, because we teach it. And as long as we teach it, the children should be proud to be here. But as long as they're here, we have to teach them. So that's here and up there. But then I was told too that the youth rally shouldn't be every 3 months. Why shouldn't it be? Is there anything else you can do with the rallies? Anything else you have for the children to do with the rally? Be free.
I just think that the youth rally should be every month now because I think, you know,
That's powerful, y'all.
just so y'all know, I'm powerful everlasting law. I'm on PLD. I think right now, this upcoming year, September and everything, I think everybody should be for the youth because from what I'm seeing, it's like nothing taken away from the older guards, but I think it's time for the Lions to sit down and let the Cubs come in and start getting things rolling a little more, some fresh meat more or less, that's what I'm saying. You know, because I think in the past they tried it and they had some complications with some of the young guards and the older guards, whatever, things went, you know, but I think right now is at a good time that the young guards, the young guards and Earths can step up and come out and really and be guided by the older guards and the older Earths.
Thank you, Paul.
All right.
No, the reason why I ask because sometimes when you build it, sometimes you have to hear more to go on. And I want to go on with the next point is that I was emailed by Colin, I have to say Colin, he emailed me, and I sent him the flyer for the next rally. You know what he told me as well as a lot of you have to use names, because see this plane is mystery guessing who said what is really getting me heck of his name. These are the names because they keep it right as that. Nobody gotta guess, it's actual facts. Now, we're not dealing with the mystery, okay? So when the guard told me that, well, you know, the show is coming up, and I'm going to do these rallies for, I was asking, so you know what, anybody have questions, this is my master right here. Just call me and ask me the reason why I'm doing these rallies, again, after the first one, because the method is necessary. So I said, what y'all doing for the show and prove is wonderful. I'm adding on to the show and prove, doing the fashion show, doing the Olympics, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm adding. So we can't stop them from building today for tomorrow. We gotta do it every day for tomorrow. Because they do it today and I do it tomorrow. You know, you take the test, you study only that day of the test. Or who's studying every day till the day of the test? So we studying every day till the day of the event. The next event, they should be ready. They can't say, I can't do it this week, I'm doing it this month. No, the children should be ready all the time. So that's what I told the guard. No, I don't think I should not have the youth rally this month. We shouldn't have it as a nation. We should let it go on and have the children build it because then they'll be ready for the show and prove. So I emailed Colleen because I had to send him the flyer. So he came back to me and said, you know what you should do? We got the show and proof coming up. You know, you should be supervising the youth rally. No, show and proof. I'm not supervising no show and proof. You know why? Because it's too much for me to do. I have my hands where I want it. I would like to add on, but I'm not going to supervise anything because we have to let everybody get their fair share of work. And I'm telling you, I do enough already, and we know, and y'all know, there's a lot to be done. So I don't want to overwhelm myself. which I didn't say, oh, be the big baller, run and say, I'm gonna do this because I want to be recognized. No. Everybody know who I am already. I don't have to say my name no more, y'all know. So I don't have to get the limelight and be able to point. I can pull back. That's why I pull back from the show and prove. My little fashion show, my little dance group, my little Olympics is going to be very short and brief. But the idea is to have it go on and positive. And the children, what they do this month, they can do next month. Can't be a change, it can't hurt nothing. So that's why I was saying, the time we spend on saying no, let's say yes, and let's get the things moving in a timely fashion so we can have an ongoing progress report for these children, and an ongoing progress report will be from the youth rallies, because that's where we're going to report how the children are manifesting their lessons, because the lessons are what we have. They go to school and do their schoolwork really far, the test, the this and that. So why we can't have something ongoing with our babies to say, this is what we do for our children because we do this here, this and that. Everything we do in the that they doing here in May, the what do you call it, the costume ball. This is what I'm talking about. We have to have something on a regular basis for these children to be participating because we need more. We still need more. But what we're doing now is not enough. But let us say, everybody adding on with their young one, the older one, everybody coming together as one. We can have it right for these children because these are our future. This is our future. These young ones around here, they're going to be sitting at the square, holding down the rallies, holding down this, holding down that. And our job is to get them here. It's funny I say that, but my children are not here today because you know what? Today was the day that I was able to come out and get Earthly Jews a break. The God work night, so you just keep them. I hope you can handle the break. I need to do me today. And today is about me. Because the children have every day, and I need a day where I can just get up and relax and come sit upon me and do the knowledge. Because usually I'm running around saying, sit down, I ain't tired, come on, everybody's all over the place. But I don't get a chance to really sit still in the rally because I have my children all the time. And sometimes I know that I have to have my focus too and listen to what the God is saying because building is a process. It just don't come naturally. And I want to say peace to the God on earth.
I think I'll hold 1 minute.
When I was in the Valley of Peace, I wrote the Holy School. I wrote our mechanism within the Buddhist civilization in the school. They directed me to write God in the desert on divine law. So we wrote we matched letters like understanding times. And today I had the privilege to go to his kingdom. He was there with a God out of P-Land. You are law. And so we went to the store, we bought some food, prepared food, I ate there, to show and prove that his energy was not fit to waste, I'm out of now sea. So that right there was a blessing, and I was at peace with that. Directly after that, I came here. I caught a job since I've been here, so it's the first time that I've had a gig in Now Why. I have a little struggle to show and prove that Allah is self-sufficient. It's been my struggle for these understanding weeks that I've been here. I don't know how successful this time is going to be. My people go to send a train ticket. I could cash it in. Right now I'm hard pressed for shelter. So that's what's up with that right there. Today's mathematics is born. I come in the name of born, king born, knowledge of all. The science behind born is to manifest that which exists in darkness, into the light. So I thought I would do that. Peace.
Well, today mathematics is born. So I'm going to speak about a few degrees that I like in 120 degrees. That I like more than other degrees. One of my favorite degrees is understanding God being 140. Because it speaks about understanding God. And the degree speaks about Allah being just the truth and there is no one like him. Now, in order for you to get to that degree, you must go through the wisdom God degree in 140. You must know where the places that will manifest, otherwise you're not going to be able to understand God. That's what God said. Love starts within self. If you don't deal with self, there's no way in the world you're going to be able to present love on the outside. Except talking about it and giving it out to somebody else and let them go for themselves. But they're not going to be able to see it because for some reason a lot of us think that all we need to do is heard. I can understand because the first thing is the word. So they say. But before the word, it had to put the thought, that energy, before the word was manifested. But the word had to come into play, so manifestation could come into play. It's like the physical. So us being building, us going toward mathematics, it gives us a chance to understand ourselves. But again, to get to understanding God, you must go through wisdom God. But to get to wisdom God, you got to start at knowledge God. The knowledge God is reached in the 1 and 40. What's the meaning of civilization? Somehow, what's the meaning of civilized? One has a knowledge, wisdom, understand cultural style, and is not a savage in the suit of habit. If you just deal with that degree, you don't have to go no further. Because you don't already understand God if you're not a savage. But a lot of us are still a savage, so we have to go a little further. We're going to have to go to to see how the devil is made. Because a lot of us still making devils that don't know why. Don't know how. Because the understanding slight degree tells us what how the devil is made. It says it's made from the original man separated by himself. So why do we keep doing this here? Every parliament I go to, except for the last parliament, is peace. So how come all the 3 parliaments in the month will be peace, and the last parliament will be confusion? What we doing at these parliaments that brothers and men need to learn? There's something wrong with that picture. I understand. Because a lot of us learning from brothers in other cities. They doing so well, we get a little jealous because we need to be showing them what to do, but yet they showing us what to do. I can understand. They haven't been contaminated like a lot of us. But again, that all that contamination was needed for that damn time. Because the contaminated one was the only one that could teach the contaminated one. Because I wasn't on the street fighting police and gang. I was in the church. Learning about that mystery God that brothers and sisters laugh about now. But it kept me what? Safe. So I can be here now to tell you that now I'm the true living God that I was looking for in church. So now when you want to speak about that, let's speak about self. Because a lot of us is quoting degrees. That's beautiful. Because that's how the knowledge is passed on. You might not understand it, but we pass on the best way we know how. Because once the knowledge get in your brain, you're going to react on it whether you like it or not. Even if you tell people, go to that person, he think he's God. He's God? I'm going to go to him and see what he's talking about. You cannot take people and turn people away from yourself. People can only turn themselves away, like a lot of us been doing. Making all kinds of excuses. Why we not coming around? Why we not adding on? The young is doing this and the old one is doing this. All those excuses is needed because to show you what the devil did to us. Now, before we see about what the devil did to us, how did the devil learn all this time? Why do we teach him all this time to kick us in the butt for 6,000 years? Because for some reason, we have to go through hardship in order to make it right. It's like the devil's will. They say out of chaos comes order. Why? Because people in war, when you start feeding them, they want to flock to you, they going to follow you because you're giving them something other than war. After everything we go through this nation that's chaos, then you want to come together and straighten things out. But why we got to beat on our sisters, now you want to come together and help the sisters. Why we got to beat on our brothers, now you want to come together and stop the brothers from getting beat on. Why we got to go through all this thing? We know the mathematics, we speak about it every day. You teach your children, but yet the children see you doing something else. Why? Because a lot of us don't still be with you. A lot of y'all are studying just like the Masons for 35 to 50 years to learn how to be God, to learn how to be the earth. So don't blame this person and that person. Everybody write their own history. That's pull out the files. You know what I like to do. Pull out the files and examine it. And you're going to see that you wrote your own history in the blood of your own children. Your own God, your own earth. That's why you talk about it. And if you say, I talk about, yeah, I talk about you behind your back, in front of your face. Pull out the files and talk about me. And let's examine my faults. Because I need to. I'm crazy just the same as another individual. But my craziness is understood because I'm funny help. That's what I'm telling you. I be reaching out, but y'all think I be playing. Some people think I'm stuck all on the earth. I do want to earth. Hey, that comes a time. I see a lot of folks going through domestic problems. Where they come? It didn't come from the earth. It came from the black man, so stop blaming all these earths. We got problems, they got problems. They problems came from us, and we taught the devil how to master us. But our women stayed strong enough to bring us back. Sure, they was weak and wicked, but they still fed us what they needed
or what they had, which was pork, whatever they had, to feed us to bring us in. Some folks don't like their fathers and mothers, but their fathers and mothers brought you here. They couldn't do nothing else but bring you here. But now y'all here, God, how did y'all get here? You didn't get here by yourself. You got here by that 85 shit that you don't like, that never should ask and wipe your ass with since you was born. Y'all understand? Y'all don't know how to get back to them. But y'all gonna come out here and teach your 85, teach your father and mother first. Then teach somebody else. Y'all understand? Y'all can't see them because y'all still 85. That's why when you go to them with anger. Because you've been angry because of the way they treated y'all, with anger since y'all was babies. And now that y'all grown people, y'all want to get back. But now y'all got mathematics. Y'all can't get back like y'all supposed to because y'all supposed to be acting like God. Now like the 85. So now you got to come in a different kind so y'all trying to bomb your parents. Stop eating pork, stop doing this, stop doing that. And your parents are on their way out. Let them enjoy their life. When they raise your ass, why you think you're going now? Why you think all the people now? Why you think I got knowledge? Y'all forgot where y'all come from? Y'all come from a lot of school. Y'all came to your father's and mother's house. Don't stop blaming on anybody else, blaming yourself. Let's bring out the file and examine these. But we need help. Thank you.
Well said.
Please can I just say before the next start off, if anybody wants a second, you can have a second.
You know, I'm just, Hey, I just wanted to add on a little something that I heard the Earth said when she was speaking of the Earthly Jews. And here's the why. Please, I'm back with you. Being that we deal with born, everything that's born is not always born dead. A lot of things. That's why it's good to do what the God said. That when you speak, you listen. You understand? Because that is the greatest teacher, also the greatest student. So that's how we have to look at ourselves when we dealing with each other. And on that same note, it's just something that has been on my mind for years about rallies, empowerment, and how do they work. And what are we supposed to be doing that though? Now, when I was in the justice in the early part of the 70s of getting this, on Baptist Alley, now when we had rallies, or we were able to come together, or we were able to form ourselves, because a lot of times they didn't want us together, because we were still considered as a gang. So they didn't really want us together. But there were so many of us that we almost controlled all the blocks. So what I remember about those rallies is that whenever we came together, it was mandatory that everybody in that side who was 50 or 60 that you got in there and introduce yourself. Because we wanted to know each other. We wanted to build that bond. We wanted to build that character. Because for newborns, that's for our children. Okay, and people who first come here, this is no easy task to stand before an audience of people and try to show them something to be their teacher, to teach them something. So we understand that when our children come to rallies, they have nothing to do if we have not created nothing for them to do. So it is time for us to take a look at it. Now, I heard some things that a few of us think that when you mention certain names, if this God don't say it, it don't be. Or these gods don't say if these firstborns and they in charge, this is their school, if this is their nation, if this is their rally. So anything takes here, we gotta run this by somebody. Or we gotta ask somebody permission. You understand? And here we're trying to change that. We are family. And family should make the decision on what's going to be at this battle and what's going to be at any battle. Because we're going to set the basis. We even change. It's not about, this is a community battle. We don't say it often, but this is a community. Because we want the people, we want to extend ourselves to our extended family. The 85% are our extended family. And that love
But he is right, you got to love yourself. You can't teach nobody else to love this until you love this. And then you have to extend it to your family, the rest of your family. That's the family that God is talking about. Your mother and your father. When he said that, I remember a time. Because when I found out I was done, my mother used to call me, play that record, la la la, me, I love you. Before it was all over, I had stopped my mother from cooking for her. I had sat down with her. I didn't beat her up. I did because I love my old earth. Let's get this right. She took care of me. When I was in jail, she took care of me. You understand? She filled me out. I loved her. But I also, and I knew she cared about me. And so I had to prove to her that I was worth that who I was, say I was. We were just tribal citizens. God just came into me to our reality. When the father went home, we stood up and said, Lord, feel this. But I remember those times with my old earth. You understand? Convincing her that the black man is God and that this was good for me. And I knew I was successful because that's what she used to call me. Instead of saying, no, that's what she was a Christian, but she played, she used to tell her friends, that's my son God did. He don't fight it. He teaches it. I didn't fight with her. So I learned that. And I always said that I would teach that back. And yet, we have to make time for our young to know each other. We just can't bring them together in an environment, in a rally environment, and not create a situation where they can get to introduce themselves to each other, get to know each other. That's what I did when we was young. That's how that Father defined. And you be surprised at how they get to know each other when they see the courage that come out of each other, they introduce each other. Even if they just say their name. And then yes, if they do a good job, they should be rewarded. Because that teaches those that are coming up that there's something when you do something good. That there's a reward, that when you do something right, right come to you. Good come to you. That is something that this educational system do not do for our children. They just do it for like the Earth Day. They take the best. Because that's what we look for, those who rise to the top. And we don't discriminate about it. And because we want them all, we teach them all. But the freedom of this nation is so that we create a situation so that our children can get to love their parents, their uncles. You understand? They uncles and their aunts. We have to do it like families. We have to teach them that to respect me is just like respecting you. That you ain't my mother, you ain't my father, I'm raising you, ready to give my life to you, and then you come and insult me by saying I don't have no part in your life. But I'm ready to kill the world for you, change the whole world for you, so that you may live and you tell me I ain't your mother, and I ain't your father. So, it is time for us, the best thing, the reason I'm saying this, is because that is something as a nation we need to put those issues on the table. We need to start defining the difference from rallies and parliament. Like those who came early heard the parliament part of what we was about. Then we open it up to the equality part. But when we first come together, we need to come together and take care of our business. To inform each other what has going on, because remember, you only come here once a month. So when you come here, y'all should be knowing what Black Daddy's been doing for that month into the next month. Because that's how we see wisdom, because wisdom is just wisdom. Everyone intelligent and seeking home level. Man can only do what he can do. But he got knowledge of or skills of. Some do it better than others. So every month, we need to keep issues on the table. Because like the God said, a lot of us still got issues.
A lot of y'all are still beating up on your woman. A lot of y'all are doing things that when you go to parliament, they don't speak about. A lot of y'all go to rallies, it don't even go into the audience. You don't sit here like you sit up in Mecca. You don't even sit up and all the learning and education be done outside. Because if you really want to know the truth, that's how I learned it. I didn't learn it by sitting in the auditorium unless they was doing some parliament thing, meaning they was talking about issues or something that took place that involved the whole nation. Then it became a parliament. But when it was a rally, I did all my learning and my strength and learning my character, learning how to execute or teach this outside. And other cycles, another little cycle on the side. I even drunk strong wine with on justice, old man justice. You can go to parliament after parliament to hear and tell us the things about what the father said. Bible Private Mind. You know? So I learned these lessons in the street, but those times are over. So I'm just saying, we need to start defining our character and what this nation should be about. And we should not let a few people make the decision for this or for all of us. And y'all all, the best thing I can say, if you're not going to add on to, get out the way and let them young dogs do it. Give them some time. Give them people that knowledge with understanding. I don't have a problem with that. I think these young dogs should get some discipline. Should know that they have a place in this and that they have a mission here too. That as they grow, they have to give something back too. We better start teaching them that early. And stop just letting them come to power and just do nothing and run wild. Even they got to show them truth. Peace.
Now the law representative, these mathematics board. When I look at that degree, I think about how why Mr. Muhammad made the devil 30 to 35 to 50 years before he calls up a mother's son. And I also look at the fact that so that he can clean himself up. See, there's a lot of cleaning that needs to be done within ourselves. Not only do we have to clean our bodies, but we have to clean our minds. You know, there used to be an expression called brainwashing. A lot of people do need their brains washed. You know what I'm saying? Because of the fact that we've been conditioned for so many years to deal with filth. You know, dirty thoughts. You know what I'm saying? And I want to add on to what the God was saying about love and loving yourself. If you look at the supreme alphabet, the love degree is knowledge, wisdom. But if you look at the U degree, it's wisdom, knowledge. You know, and if you keep it in this perspective, then you can get the understanding. Right? There's understanding in wisdom, knowledge, truth. But it's for a reason. It's taking that wisdom and putting it back to yourself. Because to thine own self be true. You got to understand, in order to be God, you have to start with yourself. You know what I mean? In order to deal with the universe, you have to understand yourself. And why I say that is because I remember the time when I would go to church and I would sit there and I would sit there in so much anger because I had knowledge of something and I know what they're teaching is not right. But see, it's not right for me. And because I didn't understand myself, I allowed what they were teaching to affect me to the point where I couldn't hear the message. There's a message in everything in life. You know what I mean? You don't have to get into the mess or the messenger, but you got to get into what's being said because it might be able to help you. And the only way you're going to understand that is if you get connected or rooted with what's deep inside of you. You see, what's outside of you, whether it comes from a book, a person, or an experience, is still secondhand information. and that guarding causes a conflict. You have to deal with what's deep inside. See, God comes from within and explodes out. If you try to take it from what's outside and bring it in, you're going to have conflict. It's not the natural order, but it's about you. You have to take it and use it for you, because without learning 120, without going to school and learning arithmetic or English, learning to read and write, or learning how to drive a car, or learning how to do your job, you can't function in the world. You have to keep it in perspective. There's the knowledge and the wisdom, which is love, and then there's the wisdom and the knowledge, which is cool. And in order to elevate in life, you have to develop personal knowledge. You got to develop organizational thought. You have to be able to organize your thought, and you have to have specialized knowledge. Not just plain knowledge. You have to have a knowledge in specifics. That's how you elevate on your job. That's what the guard was talking about, learning about being on police officers, learning about the chain of command, learning about how police work in the community. See, that's specialized information. Without that specialized information, you are powerless. You see what I'm saying? With the different, like I know guards that know supreme mathematics, but don't know arithmetic. Come on, man. You know what I mean? They don't know algebra, you know, geometry. And I'm not saying that you necessarily need those things, but what I'm saying is that you got to take it to the next level. You got to understand, 120 is black supremacy teaching. You can't take the black supremacy teaching to an Irishman or a Jew and say, here, study this, you be the God. Because it doesn't apply to them. It doesn't fit them with their idiosyncrasies, with their behavior. See, we went through 379 years of terrorism, rape, torture, basically slavery. We're suffering from post-traumatic slave syndrome. We're suffering from 379 years, actually it's 451 years of hardship that we're going through. We genetically, that's all part of our history. And in order to get us to a level of equality or a level of balance, we have to have something to lift us up. And that's what the teachings is all about. To make you the man that you naturally are, the original man. And once you get to that level, then you can take it what? You do the knowledge. Once you do the knowledge, then you can apply wisdom. And that's why going to school, that's why getting that specialized knowledge. And once you get that specialized knowledge, then you can manifest understanding. You see, you have to incorporate everything. Because without it, you have nothing. Okay, you can sit there and quote lessons and build all day long. But if you're not applying the actions, if you're not walking the walk, you just talking the talk. And what is knowledge without wisdom? You might as well be a king now, like the brother just came from. Knowledge without wisdom, what can you do? Masturbate? You know what I'm saying? You gotta have the knowledge and the wisdom to get the understanding. And we gotta understand that most of us, keeping it real, we focus on animal instincts. All we focus on as men is getting the power of youth. You know what I'm saying? What we have to learn, what most men learn between the ages of 40 and 60 is that there's more to life than that. You have to learn how to transmute that energy, which is down in the base, because you understand the body is one unit, and it can't function unless it's working as a unit. Arm, leg, arm, head. You know, the organs, everything works together to make us who we are. And once you learn to take that energy and transmute it to the mind, then you can take that same energy and apply it to making a living. Apply it to manifesting freedom, justice, and equality. You see what I'm saying? Money is like a woman. In order to win her, you have to have a strong belief in yourself. You have to have a desire, a burning desire. You have to have a definite plan, and you have to be persistent. Otherwise, she's shy and elusive. The woman she doesn't want you. And without those ingredients, you'll never win her over. That's the way it is. But see, a lot of us, we take it and we apply that same energy in the wrong direction. I can remember when I was in the 7th grade, we had a slang book. In the slang book, there was this girl, Ingrid Young, who I knew she liked me and she knew I liked her. And every night I would practice on my pillow what I'm going to say to her. Right? And then we would pass each other in the hallway at the same time every day. She, what's up? And I would freeze. 32 degrees. And this went on for 3 weeks and she wanted nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Because I was scared. I was emotionally restricted. But see, this is what life is all about. You can't be afraid of change. You can't be afraid of success. Last week the brother had the nerve to call me 10% because I talk about financial literacy. I talk about building a nation of freedom where you ain't got to be dependent on a paycheck. You know, but you know what I'm saying? It's like 10 people can tell me that I build positively, but I'm always focusing on that one person that says I'm bad. You know what I'm saying? But I talk to God and they say, well, that brother has issues, so let it go. You know what I'm saying? And to the degree I did, but that's why I'm here today. Ain't stopping me from building my nation. Because I know what I'm talking about is the truth. I know that I'm adding on to this. I know that I'm not up here worrying about semantics or rhetoric. You know, whether you do this or whether you do it your way, so you gotta understand, this universe has enough room for all of them. All the stars. Every star in our galaxy has enough space. Every star in the other galaxies have enough space. Every galaxy has enough space. We all are, no one is better than us. But we all are individuals. See, there's two aspects of it. There's the individual and then there's the human being. And as a human being, you're responsible for everything that's going on in this world. You know what I'm saying? Technologically, we've advanced tremendously with cell phones, computers, TV, DVDs, whatever. But psychologically, we're just as primitive as the caveman. See, and this is what we have to build. We have to take what we have, these lessons that were so freely given to us. Because nobody charged you to study 120. Nobody said, hey, you got to pay me $10, man, you can have this nonsense. You was given it free. And what you have to do is take that knowledge to the next level. You have to learn to walk the walk, not just talk the talk. Peace.
Peace, love, and earth. Allah came universal with love. And I'm going to add on to what the Black Universal family was saying about the babies and all that. All that is peace, you know what I'm saying? The baby is the future. They're the ones that's going to carry on. And then see the father and that all the other gods that came after the father has built, you know what I'm saying? So with that in mind, it's time for us also to get more involved. Not just the little tiny babies. It's time for the babies that's in between from the old, babies that's right in the middle. It's time for us to also start getting involved because today is born. But also, this is culture month. If you add those together, you get knowledge and understanding. Which means that we got to teach them the culture to feed them in the future. With that, I'm going to say peace.
My name is Paul for everlasting. Peace, today mathematics was born. And what I want to add on to this cipher is this. I have been blessed with the knowledge of myself through this nation, and the way I've been giving back to this nation is through being on security for non-cipher years now. And I stay faithfully on that door, not worrying about any other things going on around here. Anybody don't like nobody on the door, you got issues with whoever's on the door, don't want to be searched and all that stuff, I still deal with all that. And I stay constantly and consistently on that door, and I usually do not even leave that door. But the simple fact is, I know how important it is to be security. Because security is the one that has to happen all the time. You got to see all that's going on in there. Got to be able to protect everything that's going on in there. And got to be on the front line at all times. And what I have done, you know, I had strayed away from being around the school a lot because all the issues and stuff that's going on around there. And I find myself, you know, building that negative energy up in me and wanting to take it to the physical with brothers because brothers trying to take it to physical with other brothers and so forth like that. And when I feel that that's negative multiplied by negative, what's only going to get is negative. So therefore, I took my negative energy and took it away from that and utilized it to positive energy, where now I am the VP elect in my daughter's school, without went back to like the father did, start dealing with the babies. So that's where I took my energy, my positive energy to. I'm the VP elect there. I'm building a parent council in the charter school movement in Harlem, and also that I'm part of the organization called BAYO, which is called Black Alliances for Educational Options, which deals with school choices, which allows helping these children that have low income and so forth to get vouchers and so forth, so they can be able to get the same type of education that the congressman, the senator, or any other people's children would be able to get. So those type of things that, I always want to add on to the nation right now. So I am just saying I'm blessed to have the knowledge of self, because I came from Medina. I came from the heart of Medina, best side. And yes, I had that warrior instance in me, and I was ready to take people's heads because of things that they was doing. But then I found out that, you know what? Security is more than physical, it's the mental. So I utilized my mentality, and I took it back to what I knew it was, the foundation. Where it was, get back to these babies, get back out to school. And we got a lot of daughters and a lot of sisters in our nation that, is dealing in schools and whatnot. So I think that's where, with those sisters and brothers, I want to be able to build with them so that we can get some type of universal thing going on. Because you know what? We in there, we out there, we in this field and whatnot. You can't stop the gods. The gods on the earth is going to build it constantly, consistently, and continuously. And that's what I have been doing, and I just want to say peace on that.
Peace. My name is Ronald Allah, and I rest in peace. The day of mathematics, wow. The day of mathematics is born. Born means bringing to existence in a mental state. This is the mathematics that I'm going to come at you with. Now, I just want to let everyone know that Pelon is still having a rally indoor. We all know and understand that it's getting warm now, and we have not yet decided which month that we want to go outside. But as it stands now, it's still inside, all right? Sometimes you may hear certain things, it will be best for everyone involved, or your best interest, to seek out the counsel of Pelon. These individuals, such as myself, will know when we actually are going outside. Because you may hear some other people saying that we want to do this. And you need to get with me, or Born Black, or Tyshawn, and these are some of the names that's on the board. And we will let y'all know that when we are going outside. Okay? So when you come out, you may hear certain things because, with those who came out to Pelon, you know that you hear a lot of no respect. You understand what I'm saying? There's no respect when a man gets up here and speaks. You understand what I'm saying? It was a thing that took place that the young guard got up there and spoke, and he was very, he was scared, not scared, but he was like kind of nervous of letting out he's born. But I wanted to give him the floor so he could get a feeling on how to build. You understand what I'm saying? And this is us as elder brothers or older brothers don't give the young guards a chance to get up here and take the front line. So I'm working on that so that can't happen again. You understand what I'm saying? Because when you come, as I say when I go out to the Oasis, I always say I'm home. And the same thing with Medina, I'm home. So when you home, you got to act. You got to be right and exact. So, in that note that there's things that happen, but don't let it stop you from coming out. Okay? The desert has supported 100%, and Medina has supported 100%, and all those who came support 100%. The reason why I say Medina and the desert, because I was out in the desert and I was put in the front line because they stepped to me and they said, well, we're doing this and we're doing that. So I was compelled to respond in the way that I did, in meaning that I went back home and spoke to the gods of earth that what took place. And we formulated a board, and from the thanks for them two brothers for hitting me in my head, we have a brother now, we add on. We're doing very well. We have a nice, what they call it? Turnout. You understand what I'm saying? And I have the record to show that all you that's sitting here have been there. You understand what I'm saying? Because when I start, like Najee said, when I start pulling out the files, I can say who was there. Because this is gonna be the greatest story ever told when the babies grow up, because they'll talk about it. You understand what I'm saying? They would say that I remember when Ken got up there and tried, Ken is the one that had to raise money. And I know that when Romeo had came, they had a council with Ken to tell him, God, let me give you some Jews on how I do mine. This is how we build. This is how born is brought into existence. All right. We're going now to now see. All right. The Pelon is still there because we got to take care of business. We're hoping that everyone sticks to the same curriculum, meaning that it's 15 minutes of speaking. Try not to oversee that unless it's important. You know what I'm saying? And then you will get the high sign. It's only out of respect that we speak and we let now be formed, because anytime you come up here, you will be able to teach. You understand what I'm saying? Give these young guards on earth an opportunity to take the floor. This is why I put this brother out there. It was surprising to me, and go ahead, God, go ahead and build. Because I know, if I have to step back, I know that the young God can say, today's reality is born. You know what I'm saying? So now you don't have to feel uncomfortable. He feels very comfortable, and I pushed him. I said, yo, God, what you gonna do, man? What you gonna do? Because I told him before we got here. So he can be able to do that. So now he's straight. This is second bill. Now he's gonna be straight on the understanding. So we're doing our job. So this is what I enjoy to watch. So I can sit in the audience and check them out. You know what I'm saying? Nobody don't want that. I'm sorry for you. But this is what I want from the young guard that's always around. And he's done, I wouldn't say like this, him and Najeeb's building. You know what I'm saying? And Najeeb Georgia, because his mind is my mind. And this is how we should build. Now on the anything that Pelon can do, and anything that you'll do, just call and we sit down and break bread. All right? Because I don't make the decision. All right? I hear the mathematics, and when we have our meeting, I let Niles be born. But if we need to sit down in order to utilize or shape and mold this project together, we need to sit down. Because y'all know with me and Father Sean, once it's said, me and Father does it. But I'm not by myself no more. I got some people that they answer to. Hey, because I'm poor. Because I was used to running everything. You check my records, I was used to running everything. Rama this, Rama this. But now, I have a board. And the board tells me, go out in Medina, I'm out in Medina. They say go together, I'm out in the desert. But if I become the ambassador of Pelon in a sense that I have to let now be born. I'm not apologizing for them not coming, but that's part of my duty in Pelon to come out and make sure I come out. I want to be with my family, and they want to be with their family. But that's another story. But in that note, I just want to thank the MEDINA Black family, and I told the agent on the side, I said, don't be surprised, because what I said to you, I'm going to have this type of meal spot. Because, that's what I can feel myself. But in that note, everything's well. There's bumps that's still happening, but we ironing out everything. But it's humble that the young boy can get up here without somebody saying something to him. Peace.
My name is T-Boy Law. We have a parade in Jersey City on the 30th of this month. And if you are welcome, I got these two letters, I got these two pages. Hold on. You can have this page.
Hey, we're winding down to the close. First of all, to the young dog. Anytime you come out here to these valleys, the floor is yours.
That's right.
That's one. Two, if you don't get up to speak amongst us, then you'll never be able to speak amongst anybody. Three, speak what's from your heart, regardless if it hurts somebody. Because I can tell you all something, but no one says. My mathematics say power. And power is the truth. You cannot be